Hi guys, today's video is going to be a bit of a continuation from yesterday's video. I'm pretty sure this video is going up the day after. If you missed my last video, I basically did a first impression with the new happy hour collection from Glamlite. I know I said in my first video that it was called a cocktail collection. That's wrong. It's called I almost said holiday collection now. It's called the happy hour collection. That's what I was trying to say. Anyway, I did swatches with all of the 4 palettes and the highlighters as well as the lip products. And in today's video, we're only going to be focusing on one of the palettes, and for this video I want to use the wine palette because I'm just in a mood to wear purples and blues today, and so that is what we're going to go ahead and do. We're going to see if this palette is the good quality that I'm used to from Glamlite. I absolutely love Glamlite. I have so many of their palettes. I am on their PR list. I did get this sent in PR as well, but obviously that's not going to change my opinion about the product because I like to be honest here, and that is what we do. Before we get into the eyeshadows, I think I want to put on one of the lip products that I didn't use in my first video, so I'm going to use this one. This is from the same set. This is one of the glosses. This is in the shade Irish Cream, so it's a very opaque gloss. I'm not sure if this color is going to really suit me. It might be a little too light for what I prefer in a gloss, but we'll try. We'll put it on and see how it looks. Okay, so this color already, I feel like it's not really going to be a color that I'm going to like. Yeah, this color is not for me. I'm gonna take this off. I just feel like it looks so weird. Like, I don't feel like I'm one of those people who can pull off like a very, very nude lip. I don't know. I just feel like it's too light for me. And I also don't like ombre lips, so I'm not the kind of person who will use a darker lip liner and like a lighter color in the middle. I just don't really think it looks that good, especially on me. I feel like a lot of people can pull it off, but with my lip shape, I just feel like it's not really that flattering. So I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna put on let's do this one instead. I'm gonna use this gloss. This is the shade called Whiskey. Man, this is so much better. Like, this is definitely my kind of color. I don't know what it is about the very, very nude lip products, but I just don't feel like they suit me. Maybe it's just because I'm not used to seeing myself with them, but I don't like them on myself personally. But this is beautiful. I'm much more of a pink lipstick, lip product, lip gloss, whatever you want to call it, kind of wear, and this is really, really nice and opaque. I love an opaque gloss. I love a gloss that I don't need to use a lip liner with, and I love a gloss that I can be precise with and like overline my lips a little bit and still get a sharp line and not have to, like I said, use a lip liner for it to look nice and opaque. So really, really like this. It's very comfortable. I do feel like it has maybe a little bit of, not a plumping sensation, but like, I don't know, I can feel a little bit of something on my lips, so maybe there is like a little bit of plumping in this. Not really sure. It's not uncomfortable by any means. It's just that I can kind of feel like a slight tingle on my lips, like a little bit, but nothing that's like annoying at all. I just thought I would mention it. So we're gonna get into the palette. I do think I want to try out one of the highlighters as well that I didn't use in yesterday's look, and that's going to be the darker one. I'm not sure if it's going to suit me. Again, the color might be a little bit off, but we'll just try it anyway because what is the worst thing that can happen, right? Because it's just makeup and it's going to wash right off. So I need to find a clean brush, which I don't think I have, so I'm going to use this one, which is dirty, which is fine. And I have a hair on it. This is from Made by Mitchell, and it's one of the brushes that came in his brush set that I bought last year. I actually ended up buying his new palette that launched a few days ago because I really, really, really like the other palettes that he's come out with. The color story is a little bit on the neutral side, but it definitely has some really fun pops of color, and I'm pretty excited to try it out because, like I said before, I really, really like his first 2 palettes, so I have pretty high hopes that this next one is going to be good as well. And I also ended up buying one of his, it wasn't a liquid liner, it was like a graphic liner type thing. It basically looks like all of the JD Glow liners. Like it reminds me a lot of these. So we'll see how they are. Maybe I can use it for like a fun graphic look or something. I haven't done that in a while. Maybe that could be fun to do today. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm kind of feeling in the mood to just play a little bit today. So that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. So let's see, what do I want to do with this palette? I did use one of the shades. I used 2 of the shades in my first impression video. I used this one as well as this one, I think. So maybe we'll go more, I would say more blue, but I'm also kind of feeling purple. It's really, really hard. Like, this palette is so beautiful. I do wish that, I've seen a lot of people say this, but I didn't really think of this until someone mentioned it, but this doesn't really scream wine to me. Like, there's a lot more purple in here than there is, like, you know, like the theme that you could go with the wine. I would expect there to be like more red tones, but the only really red or like wine color is this one right here. So I kind of wish they put in a little more more red, because that would go really well with this. Like a red shimmer or something like that would be really fun. Or even like a red iridescent shade to go with some of these, like as an inner corner shade would be really fun too. Yeah, I don't know. What do I want to do? That shade up there is like really screaming my name, and I kind of want to like match my head and my scrunchie, so I want to go like very purple. But I'm also just so drawn to like all of these shades, because that is me. Every time I look at a palette, I'm like, I want to use them all. So I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do. Maybe I will start with the shade. Maybe I will go like pretty purple today. So I'm gonna start with a shade here called Malbec, and I'm gonna use that in my outer corner, because with purples, you guys know I do like to start with my darkest purples first, because sometimes they can tend to be a little bit patchy and I don't want that to happen. So I'm just gonna make sure that I'm putting down the darkest shade first, so I don't have to deal with any issues if there are going to be any, which I know there won't be if I do it this way around. So it's just like a foolproof way to work with purple shadows, is just to go in with the darkest shade first. It's just a kind of technique that you need to practice a little bit. It's honestly really, really easy, and it also gives you like the most pigment if you do it that way, which is another reason why I really enjoy going dark to light. I have periods where I do it the other way around and I just completely forget about this, but it really just depends on my mood, to be honest. Let's see, do I want to take this under my eye as well, or do I just want to keep it on the top? I think maybe I will do, I feel like I did the same technique in my first impression video, but that's fine. I think I'm gonna take the lighter of the purples here, and I'm gonna put this shade in the front portion, and we'll see kind of where I end up. This one is the shade called Fine Taste. I don't think I want like the whole crease to be very dark. I think I want the inner portion to be like quite pastel. So I'm just gonna put this in the rest of my crease here, and I might just go back in with the other shade and just kind of blend that out on its own here. This is such a beautiful pastel purple. That's really, really pretty. And don't worry if the blend is looking a little bit weird on this side, because I haven't really actually started to blend it out yet, and I put it down kind of sloppily. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna go back in with a shade called Malbec, and I'm just gonna work on getting a good blend here between these two colors, and also just sort of blend this out on its own here. And maybe I can use some of the more blue shades underneath my eye just to get a bit of a contrast and to test out more of these shades. But I really like this color combination. That's really cute. I'm taking this a little bit onto my lid as well, as you can see, because I do want shimmers on my lid, but I sometimes find that layering shimmers over mattes just give it a little bit more of a gradient, and it can also make them look a little bit more intense. I'm really liking the way that the shade is sort of blending out on its own. Like it almost looks like I have two shades here, but is only one, and I love those kind of shades because it makes them so much more versatile. I really like this color combo. I think that's very cute, and I just dropped my brush on top of my palette. There is quite a bit of kick up in these, just so you are aware. They are pretty powdery. I think for underneath my eye, I'm gonna use the shade called Cabernet Sauvignon. I'm probably butchering that. I think it was okay. It could be a lot worse. But I'm gonna use that basically under my lash line here. I'm not sure if I wanna use maybe a little bit of the shimmer shade in the front portion. I'm thinking yes, because that could just be kind of fun. I'm seeing a little bit of fallout from the purple just like on my face here. So I'm gonna try to, let me just finish actually with this color just in case I get any more. I'm taking this almost all the way in, just leaving a little bit of room for whatever shimmer it is that I end up using. And I'm just gonna blend these together in the outer corner of my eye here. I think this looks really, really nice. I like where this is going so far. So I think we're gonna go into the shimmer. So I'm gonna save my lower lash line for last, I think, and we're gonna use, okay, so right away, I'm feeling like I'm missing a light shimmer in this. I wish there was a shimmer that was a bit lighter than this one, because it's quite dark, and I don't know if I really have a shimmer that's light enough. I mean, that could work, but I just wish there was something lighter in this palette. I really like the depth of it, but I feel like it should go both ways. Like, I really like having both dark mattes and light shimmers and dark mattes. Like, that is just my preference. So I wish that there was something that's not just like a mid-tone shimmer, because this one is, as much as it's pretty, but I feel like it doesn't really go with the rest of the colors in this palette. Like, it's sort of, I don't know, I feel like it's just a bit out of place. Like, this should have been like some kind of an iridescent light inner corner shade, in my opinion. Like, I just feel like this sort of, what do I even call this? Like, it's kind of a taupey shimmer. Like, what do I do with this? Like, what? I just don't really understand why it's in there. I just wish it was something else. So I'm not sure. I'm kind of struggling to find a shade that's going to go like in the front portion of my lid here, because I just wish there was something a little bit lighter. So maybe, let's see, are these two very, very similar? I feel like they, okay, so this is more of a black base and more of an opaque shimmer, and this one is more of an iridescent, not iridescent, but is not as opaque, and it's a little bit more on the lighter side, but it's a duochrome, so that's very pretty. Maybe I'll just use this all over my lid because I don't really feel like I have too many other options here. And then I can use a little bit of this on the front portion of my lower lash line, and I am going to bring in some kind of an inner corner shade because I just feel like it's missing in this palette. So I'm going to start with a shade called Napa, but first I am of course going to put down some glitter primer. I'm just going to take this all over my lid, and I am going to put it over that purple on the outer corner as well, because the shade is going to layer wonderfully over it. And with the sticky side of the brush, I'm dipping into the shade Napa, and I'm basically just going to put this all over my lid. A pretty nice thick layer here, because I do want this to be really, really nice and shiny and opaque, and that is a beautiful shade. That looks really, really nice. The duochrome in this shade, I'm not sure how well you can see it, but it's clearly got like a very strong blue shift, which I feel like goes really, really nicely with the matte color story of this palette. This is beautiful. I am, like I said before, missing some kind of a lighter shimmer to kind of go with this, but I really like this. I'm gonna take, let's see, what am I gonna do on my lower lash line? I think I'm gonna take that blue down here, which is quite dark, but since I am going to use something else in my inner corner, I think it'll be fine. I'm gonna pick this up on a Rephr 03, and I'm gonna spray this. I almost want to spray it with my spot cleaning spray from my brushes. That would not be good. I'm gonna use my Fix Plus here and just give this a few spritz, and then we're gonna put that in the front portion of the lower lash line. I'm gonna leave a little bit of room in my inner corner for whatever inner corner shade I end up using, but I'm gonna take this almost all the way across because this is a beautiful shade and I really like that. Yeah, that's very, very pretty. And for my inner corner shade, I'm gonna take one of my Bitter Lace Beauty highlighters, and I'm gonna use this one right here, which just looks white to you, but it's a very beautiful lavendery iridescent highlighter. This is in the shade Whimsical. Going to spray this a little bit as well. And I'm just gonna pop that right in my inner corner as my inner corner highlight. Like, see what a difference an inner corner highlight makes? Like, I could not do a look without having an inner corner highlight because I just feel like it really brightens your eyes and it just looks so pretty. So I think this is going to be it for the look. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off and I will show you the final product. I'm thinking maybe I won't use this highlighter in this look because it's not really gonna go with it. This is the Mimosa one and it's just the yellow one. So since I still have a couple of looks that I need to do, I feel like I'm gonna pull it in with a look that's going to kind of match it a little bit better because I don't feel like yellow is really gonna go with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off with the rest of my look and I'll be right back. Okay, the look is done. To finish off, I used Crybaby from Colourpop in my waterline. I think this is, no, it's Prance. I don't know why I always confuse these two. I've had them for years. I've had both of them for years. I should know their names by now. This is Prance. I don't think is available anymore, but it is my favorite blue eyeliner in my collection. And I just thought it would go really nicely with this look, especially since I had some blue on my lower lash line. And then my highlighter today is basically the same highlighter that I used in my inner corner. It's the one from Bitter Lace Beauty. If you're wondering about my blush, I'm using one from Pat McGrath that I ended up buying not that long ago, and I have filmed a full face of first impressions. I don't know when that is going up, but I tried out a lot of new products and this was in that video and I really like it. It's so hard to open though. Like, I'm trying to not break my nails to open this. Oh, look at that color. Oh, isn't that just gorgeous? This is in the shade, let's see, what are you called? Cherish. It's like so hard to see the name because I keep wanting to look like here, but it's like down here. It's in the shade Cherish. It's hella expensive, but it is beautiful and I really like it. And I also really like this palette. I do think that maybe the color story isn't as well thought out as I was kind of hoping when I went into this, because I felt like there were just shades missing that I would have liked to have seen. And I also just feel like it could have been a little bit more wine inspired. But I also do think that for being like a monochromatic palette, that is really, really nice. I just wish that for me, it had some lighter shimmers. Like that is my only gripe with this palette, if you want to call it that. It's not really even a big deal because I have so many shades that I can pull in. And that's definitely what I'm going to do when I use this palette. But if you're someone who maybe don't have a big collection and you want there to be like an inner corner shade, maybe, I don't know, maybe this palette isn't perfect for you, but I do think it's beautiful. I just wish that there was, like, this one should have been something else in my opinion. I just don't really feel like it goes with the rest of the colors, but I don't know. I think the quality is nice. I'm really happy that I have it. That's gonna be my thoughts, I guess. Let's see, what are we gonna use next? I'm not really sure. I'm thinking maybe I'll do the chocolate martini palette because, I don't know, get the neutral look out of the way. Not that I'm not excited about it, but it's the one that I'm the least excited about. So maybe I will end on a high note and like save the green one for last because that is the one that I am personally the most excited about. So that's gonna be my thoughts and my look and all that good stuff. Thank you so much for being here. As always, if you want to see some more Glamlite content, here's my playlist. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe and I will see you in my next video where we're going to use another one of these. Bye.